Yes, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Salud. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
Looking like you never left Wisconsin.
Dude, I'm totally like owning it, bro. Like I'm on my Bushwick cowboy shit. Yeah.
You Bushwick Cowboys. Oh, you do got the cowboy boots on these days.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Hey, man. Gotta like connect back to your roots, I guess.
Yeah, because you were you were on a lot of cattle ranches when you were in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Oh wait! I'm giving away your birthplace now. Now shit's already going down the drain.
I mean, we were gonna talk about it anyway, right?
Hell yeah, of course we were.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I never even felt super like Wisconsin. I don't know if you're the same way.
Same here, brother.
My whole family is not from there.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like a lot of people in Appleton specifically, or maybe like kind of like north of like Milwaukee, Madison and stuff. There's like a lot of like multi-generational people. You know what I mean? My parents are from Michigan, which isn't that close realistically because you have to go around lake. You have to go around the lake. Like they're right next to each other, but you have to go around the lake. So like I didn't grow up like that close to like my dad's family, and then my mom's from North Carolina. So yeah, I was like I had two non-Wisconsin parents.
Yeah.
So we didn't have land up north. I didn't ever go hunting and fishing and shit. I did go ice fishing once.
Okay, nice. I still haven't been ice fishing.
Dude, it's kind of sick. We honestly
I know, I want to go.
Yeah, we honestly just got drunk and watched the Packers and then like went out to go check the poles like every once in a while.
Yeah, because you catch something, the shit doesn't move, it just stays there like hooked on.
You just gotta grab it.
It's not like really fighting for its life. It's cold as hell. It's like, damn.
There's like these little flags that they put, and then you can like go check them. Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Anyway,
my whole mom's side of the family is freaking huge, like hunter, fisherman.
Yeah.
Like hick.
Are they
like
from
hick,
Wisconsin or
hick,
from like Hortonville or something?
They're from Shyocton, my guy.
Okay, there you go. That's
town
what I'm
of
saying.
like 900 people. My mom grew up on a fucking vegetable farm, man. Like,
that's sick.
Yeah, like my uncle.
Do they still have land?
My uncle has the land.
Fire.
My grandma's house burned down. He built a house on it.
Nice.
Because she actually was out of the house at that point, living in like a little trailer home because she was like getting really old, and I mean he's like a hardcore farmer, but like unbelievable, like the vegetables and shit that
nice.
It's unreal.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's that Wisconsin soil.
Yeah, it bro, it is like for real though. Bro, if I show you a video of my uncle's farm, that dirt is like saturated.
Fertile.
Very fertile.
Nutrient rich.
Very fertile. Pause.
Nice.
Yeah, so I get you though. Like that's like the very Wisconsin side of my family. My dad's from Waukesha, so he's from like
outside of
Milwaukee, suburb of Milwaukee, but like so his family was like always like city family,
Right,
what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, and but I mean I guess back to the fit.
The fit. Yeah, so
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like even though I don't really like super relate to it, I think. Tell me if this is true. Like, I feel like when you leave, like where you're from or whatever, I feel like you like hate it at the time, but once you leave, you start to like grow more fond of it.
Of course.
Yeah. So now I'm like kind of owning it. Like, yeah, I'm fucking from Wisconsin, bitch. What?
Absolutely.
But like, when I was like growing up in Appleton, like all I wanted to do was leave, right? Like,
yeah.
So it's like,
which is also
funny.
Kind of fair. Like, it's not the best place for a fucking teenager.
yeah, for sure.
Like, it's a great place for a parent and to raise a child.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's a wonderful place. It is. It really is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's people like you and me. Like, we want more opportunity. We want. I mean, that's just us though.
Yeah. No. No shade to anybody that like wanted to stay in their hometown. Like I think that there's like a lot of value to that. But yeah, I wanted something else.
Yeah. Yeah. I can say there's a lot of value to that, and there's also a lot of value because that's what makes places special, right? Like
Yeah.
if we all moved away and became, like us and like whatever, like Appleton wouldn't have its identity. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like the locals, like the real people that like live, die, and breathe
real-
fucking Appleton.
The real
and
College Ave
and was-
loiterers.
yeah. But it's also incredible because like I can say that being from there like you and coming here and, doing all the traveling and all the other stuff that I've done, going back home now, and I've been home for a while, it's been really amazing because it's different as an adult, especially
For sure.
after you've been gone for so long.
Yeah. You were gone for like 15 years.
I mean, I haven't lived in Appleton since I was 18. Yeah, but like it's grown a lot, which is amazing, and it's cool to come back there now and be able to like give knowledge to people that I love and like
Yeah.
and also like kind of build there a little bit, as I've been home for a bit longer.
Yeah. And also, let me just say that that party we threw back in Appleton this past summer,
Yeah.
bro, that was so much fun.
It was
That was like
fucking lit.
that was like the most fun I've had DJing in like so long. And it was just like mad people like from like high school and stuff, and like my parents were there, my parents' friends were there.
Yeah.
You were there. That shit was so much fun, dude. And like, yeah, just like seeing it, because it's like I've like done like left and like done so many different things, but like we were just talking about, like I'm still from Appleton, and like it's still like home, I guess. Even though I don't have any family there anymore, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back after so much time not being there, and kind of like doing the whole DJ thing, which I never did like when I was living in Appleton. So it's kind of like people don't really know that part. Like people like from high school and stuff, unless they like kept in touch or whatever. They don't really know that part about me. So it was kind of cool, like being there, and yeah, it was fun. And it was like an awesome party. Like it was so. I'd never seen my mom so lit, bro.
Really?
Yeah. They were
That's
like,
amazing.
like the funniest thing was they said bye like 4 times. They're like, all right, we're heading out, Josh. We had a great time, whatever. And then like 10, 15 minutes later, I'd see them. Like my dad got another beer or something. They're like, oh no, we're going to hang out for a little bit longer. And then they'd say bye again. And I'm like, you guys are having a blast, dude. You're just like afraid to admit it. And like my dad's always like, oh, I don't really get the music. I don't really understand the music you play. It doesn't really make sense to me. And now I hold that over his head. I'm like, bullshit, dude, because you were having so much fun that night. And yeah, so that was really good. Because like my parents, like they see me DJ before, but only for like small whatever thing. Like nothing super fun, whatever. That night was like super fun. You know what I mean? You had fun. I know you had fun.
Oh, my sister.
Yeah, she was lit. There's a video. There's like a video.
Her like twerking. Yeah, I know. Dude, I showed her that shit. I showed her that shit when you posted that.
I know.
I showed her. She was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah, that's you though." But that's her though, and I love that you got to bring that out of her.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because I haven't seen her do that shit since she was in like college, bro.
Hey, I'm glad I could do that.
I was like, "Who the fuck is this girl?" But I'm like, "That's my sister." Like that's who my sister is, and like 99.9% of the time I'm around her now, it's like she's
all buttoned up, like
she's mom.
Yeah.
It's like you barely ever. She has 3 kids. You barely ever get to see like Kaylin from fucking college.
Yeah.
It's like that barely happens. Probably unless she's like on like a girl's trip or some shit. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's cool, man. I didn't even know that part of the story. I mean, I knew she was your sister, but I didn't know that she had 3 kids.
That was like that was legitimately she said that was the most fun that she's had like in a freaking long time, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know what, motherfucker?
I'm so happy that we could do that, because I do think like obviously there's couple of like I mean, not to get too like Appleton specific. There's like D2 and there's like the bar or whatever, but like those places, even if you're not like looking for like obscure music or whatever, like that's just pretty corny.
Oh no, it's everything down there is mad corny for sure.
And there's people, there is a crowd at those places that enjoy that shit, but then there's like a lot of people who just want to hear like, you know, maybe a little bit like, not like better, but like maybe a little bit more refined sort of like DJ sets or whatever.
Yes.
And like I said, like obviously I'm not going to play the same set there that I'm going to play at like fucking some gay bar in Bushwick or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even coming there knowing it's like, okay, I gotta like, you know, lowest common denominator, like do some more fun crowd pleaser stuff, like I'm still gonna do that differently than like the local DJ at fucking D2 or whatever, you know what I mean?
God,
Like,
for sure.
yeah. So I mean, like, it's like
For
bringing like a little bit of a
sure.
different thing, and like I think people, even people who live there who like aren't gonna be going to like fucking techno raves and shit, like I think they even enjoy something like a little bit more like elevated sort of like DJ set like that, you know what I mean?
Yes. Much more
So-
cultural, much more like, yeah, a little bit more taste, like not just fucking mixing like every hip hop, every hip
LMFAO.
LMFAO and every classic hip hop song and sing along
Yeah.
song
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
Like, dude, nobody goes to those fucking bars, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some fucking friends from high school, but like, dude, I'm not spending time around those people. No,
Right,
no
right,
shade, but
yeah.
like,
And Commodore
I-
Club is
I have-
dope though.
yeah, Commodore.
That's where the party was.
Commodore Club's like the only shout out to Commodore Club in
Yeah.
Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh yeah.
Patrick Frawley.
Patrick Frawley. He went to
Owner.
my high school. Background, we went to different high schools. We went to like competing sort of high schools. But I had a lot of friends at your high school.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. Yeah.
Yeah. So Patrick Frawley went to my high school. But yeah, that
Yeah.
place is dope.
Yeah.
I think they've won some awards, like Fox Valley
yeah.
cocktail awards and shit.
Yeah, they're cool. They're doing their thing. I mean, his cocktails are fucking great.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other like good cocktail bars, but they kind of fell off. Like there was one specifically, the Ambassador, that like kind of fell off. They got new ownership and it just kind of changed and everything kind of went shitty. But like, yeah, they're the only ones that really do like, I think, good, tasteful like music, a little bit more like worldly, cultural,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that. But yeah, like you go down to I listen, I haven't on like a Friday or Saturday night in Appleton, Wisconsin, I haven't been west of Cleo's and like the fucking Radisson
This
Hotel.
is so regional. This is so like localized. But
I
yeah, no,
haven't
not west of Cleo's. I got you.
I haven't been west of Cleo's or the fucking like Jimmy John's going down that
no
way.
bra house.
I haven't been down there on a night yet since I've been home.
I think you should. I
No.
think you should do it.
No,
I
I'm
think
not.
you
I'm not going.
subject yourself to
I did drive by
The,
one night though, and there are actually kind of some fine ass girls.
The-
there,
the
guys. I'm not
the-
gonna lie.
the bachelorette parties from Fond du Lac or some shit.
Yes, the Fondy bachelorette parties.
No, it's so funny because it's so funny because it's like
Shout outs to Fond du Lac, Wisconsin.
more like Fondle Sack. Am I right?
Fondle sack.
No, okay. So it's so funny because obviously, like, especially out here, like when I tell people, like when I was living in Chicago and I told people that I lived, like, I'm from Wisconsin, people are like, okay, cool, I get it. But like I tell people here from Wisconsin and they're like, oh, that's crazy. I've never even heard of that place.
Yeah, they don't even know where it is on a map.
Yeah, yeah. And well, I mean, some people do obviously, but then there's like, like I say Appleton, and everyone's like, that sounds like the cutest, quaintest town ever.
It does.
But like, what you have to know, it does. What you have to know is that like for the like northeast Wisconsin, besides like Green Bay, Appleton is like one of the bigger cities in that area. And yeah, there's like
Yes.
fucking people come out, and there's College Avenue where there's like more bars than people, and there are people that do like bachelor and bachelorette parties like in Appleton. It's kind of like a little Nashville or something. You know what I mean?
It is. It is. It is.
So it's
It
always funny, and like there's just mad people from like bumfuck nowhere Wisconsin that's actually really small that are going to Appleton. That's like going to the big city for them. It's kinda funny,
Yeah.
like, they're like coming from fucking Escanaba or some shit. Like, so, you know what I mean? Like
Escanaba. What a great call.
Escanaba, yeah. Up there, up north, you know.
Way up north there. That's freaking hilarious, bro. You're correct though, dude.
No, it's kind of funny, and like
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
like College Ave gets lit because of that. I mean, there's obviously like the degenerates that just like hang out there like all the time.
Oh yeah.
But then there's like the people who are like woo, Appleton for the weekend. You know,
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Yeah. Can we talk about when and like where you started DJing really quickly?
Yeah,
And
for sure. Sorry,
hold
we just
on,
started,
I
we just
might.
started yapping.
No, this has been great. This is exactly everything. Everything has been great, but you know, I didn't even. Yo, what's up? You want to see a little? Can I show you somebody that you might recognize?
Who's this?
Sure.
Hey, I'm the DJ from from the I'm the DJ from Commodore.
Oh dang! Oh dang!
You were
What's up,
throwing
what's up
ass
that
like
night?
crazy. Yeah, it was funny. That was cool. That was a good
No,
night.
actually, no shame, no shame. I wasn't even. I'd only had a few drinks. I just like to dance.
Yo, no, you were having
You
a great
know-
time. You're having a great time, and I was happy that you were having a good time.
That night was incredible. Actually, I needed that.
Hey, I'm glad.
I needed that night. I needed to get that flow out. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people there needed that night. It was good.
That was a blast.
I'm glad you had fun.
Oh yeah. So much fun.
This is Josh, by the way.
Yeah, my name's Josh. DJ
Hey,
Fire Aux.
Josh.
DJ Fire Aux.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys killed it that night. That was a blast. An
Oh.
absolute blast.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
And your homie was good too.
Yeah,
Like,
Scully, yeah.
Scully from
Shout
Chicago.
out Scully, yeah, that's the homie.
We had a great crew that night.
What was it? I didn't hear what you said.
We had a great crew that night to be out like
Yeah.
I know. I told him I brought.
for fun.
Yeah, I brought all we had like 6 cousins in there and
No
shit.
way.
Like like cousins who I hadn't seen in a
Allsburgers.
long time and shit. The Johnsons, my mom's side. My mom's side.
The Johnsons, hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey. Awesome.
We're recording a podcast.
Nice.
All right, cool. That's all I wanted. I had to get you on camera because we were literally like
We
this
were talking
podcast
about-
started out with us talking about you.
Well, no, I mean not you specifically, but that night.
I mean about that night.
but you were name dropped for sure.
So here's the deal too. I only left the dance floor a few times to go to the bathroom, and then I would immediately go back, and then people would abandon me, and then I would go get more people to get back on the dance floor. Like, it would get really quiet. People would take a break, and like, I'm not taking a break. We're gonna continue this party.
Yeah, and it kept
And,
going.
I was sore the next day.
That's great. I was sore too, but I think it was more just I was kind of hungover.
She was like the commanding officer of the dance floor that night. Legit. She was getting angry when people were leaving. She's like, "What? Where are you going?"
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was. Yeah. It was good. It was a good night. Oh my god. No shame. 100% own that night.
No, yeah, you
Girl
were
likes
having a
to-
blast.
Girl likes to boogie.
Yeah.
I said we saw Kalen, collegiate Kalen, come out that night.
Ooh. I think caged mom, Kaylin.
you needed to like
Maybe a
blow
little
off
bit
some
of that.
steam.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we're gonna let you go.
Cool. All right, you guys. Good to see you, Josh.
Yeah,
Take
good to see
care.
you too.
Love you.
Have a
Catch
good
you
one.
later. All right, but okay.
That was funny.
I had to,
Hell
bro.
yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So like,
DJing.
cause I don't even know actually. I don't think
Yeah.
like when that all started and like how it all started too.
Yeah, I actually just told this story the other day, in its entirety, but it's usually like a first date where I tell the story. But this was just chatting with this is just chatting with the homie. But and he was like, "How'd you start DJing?" But the actual story, there's like a whole.
So you date your homies? Is that what you say?
Oh yeah, dude. If you don't date the homies, what are you doing? Bro? What are you fucking talking about? I love a homie date. No, I'm being I'm so serious. You ever like sitting around with your boys and like, dude, this is fucking cute, man. I fucking love you guys. And I'm glad we're like getting dinner. I'm glad we're getting beers right now. And I fucking love you guys. I love those moments for sure. But okay, so there's some pretty heavy lore. So when I moved from Milwaukee to Chicago, this was like peak peak, number one, peak like blog era. Number two, peak like Chance the Rapper, Chief Keef, like are coming out of Chicago. It's like there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of like internet music stuff going on. So sorry, I started writing for a website, like a music website in Chicago, and because I wanted to be involved. I like was just like I thought music was so dope. Like I wanted to like be involved with it, and I was like, what should I do? Let me just get involved with like the editorial side, like the journalism side.
Yeah. And
then this is actually so funny. I wouldn't say I had a beef with like the editor, but I had a pretty serious misunderstanding. I think the editor had beef with me. I think he had it out for me. He like would like forget to put me on the guest list and shit, like for like shows and stuff. And then
forget.
Right. And then one day I like made a typo on a post, and bro like emails me and CCs everybody else that like writes for the website and goes like calls me out. And I was like, bro, this is like a power move. This is some weirdo shit. Like, if you're gonna like be passive aggressive and like call me out, but like also CC everybody else to like embarrass me or something, like I don't want to do this. So isn't that weird? The whole CCing everybody else to be like, hey, look at this fucking dumbass that like made a typo on a post. So I was like, I took a little bit. Dude, it's funny because I had this email in my draft for like 7 years. If you want to know how petty I am, I kept that email in my draft for like in my drafts for like seriously so long. But I typed up a whole ass email calling him out, like really angry. Set it aside, came back like 10 minutes later, and instead of sending that email, I was just like, hey, I don't think this is working out. I'm gonna like do my own thing or whatever. Like I just sent like a normal like, hey, I'm out, you know. But I kept the like the super angry email where like wrote like paragraphs like, this is fucked up. Like, why would you do this? I kept that in my drafts for so long.
Cut to picture a picture of the email right now.
Yo, I wish one day I'm like, I'm letting this go. Like it was like a cathartic, dude. I was like, I'm gonna delete this draft.
Why people gotta be shitty, bro? Anyways, keep going.
But that is weird, right? So shortly after that, I kind of felt like there was like a void, you know. There was a piece missing in my life because I still like wanted to go to concerts and events and parties and stuff, but I didn't really have like a reason. I didn't have like a motivating factor. Mm-hmm. And right around this time, I actually went through like my first adult breakup, I guess. And she was also kind of like discouraging me from like doing that. She's like, in hindsight, it was like I was like 25, and she was like, "Oh, you're like 25 now. Like you shouldn't be going out to clubs and stuff." I'm like, okay.
Oh my god.
And so we broke up, and I had a lot of time, and I had like a lot of energy to like kind of work on some other stuff, and I wanted to give myself an excuse to kind of like be at events and parties and stuff. So I just like self-taught, like just taught myself how to DJ. And then this is actually kind of crazy because it all comes full circle. In a few months, I'm going out to DJ a wedding in Argentina, which will be super fun. But it is, so like after I got started DJing, like one of my homies was throwing like house parties, like, I don't know, probably like every month, like every other month, pretty regular consistency. And that's where I got my start DJing. And he's getting married.
Oh,
so it's like
shit.
And he wanted me like specifically like, so it's kind of fun because he wanted me to do my DJ set. So they have a wedding DJ. And then once the party's going and like the grandma and grandpa left and stuff,
Fire.
I'm gonna do my set.
You're the headliner.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. But it's just like for the homies. But it's like, it's kind of like I'm excited for my friend to get married, but it's like a very nostalgic moment because it's like he's kind of one of the reasons I kept doing it. You know, it's kind of one of the reasons it happened. So shout out Manoj Das, that's the homie. But yeah, he was throwing these house parties, and then further down the line. if you want more of the story, it's like another crew that was kind of like at these house parties and like part of this like group of friends or whatever. They were all like creatives and like doing different things, and there was like another sort of like collective that was doing like pretty like high production events and stuff. So like they were there at the house party, but they were also like doing like bigger concerts and stuff. And it was like this group of people, and because they were like part of this crew and they were like at these house parties and stuff, that was my in to like the bigger gigs. And I remember one of my first gigs that was like kind of serious or whatever was opening for, do you know Masego?
Of course I do, yeah.
Yeah, the singer, opening for him. And it was through that group of friends and stuff. So I was like kind of
Wow.
just like worked out. I was like super early like DJing and like opening for this guy who's like a pretty big name.
Yeah.
And another full circle moment was one of the guys I met through that group of people is my homie Julius, who you've met. He came out that night. We went to one of the nights we were at Silencio, but he DJs too, and he lives out here now. So I met him in Chicago, but he lives out here now, and we're good homies through that time period in my life. So
Yeah.
it all just kind of worked out. And yeah.
Damn, that's cool as hell.
The funny thing was I didn't even know how to DJ. like I was just getting these bookings because I was like plugged in, but I wasn't good at DJing back then.
Hey, you got to get through it sometimes.
Nobody
bro,
forced me.
you know?
Nobody forced me to do it because I was getting gigs. So I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna play songs. You know, like I wasn't like mixing shit. Yeah.
Yeah, your craft is. I mean, you've gotten fucking really good, bro. It's been crazy to like.
Thank you, by the way.
It's just been cool to like see your progression and shit like that. Like, I think I started really like seeing more of your stuff when, you know, it was in Chicago and you were like starting to like actually do it like more seriously. And then 2020, I came out there, obviously, August of 2020.
Oh, that was super fun. Yeah,
You know,
that was a fun night too. Yeah.
At the Ace Hotel.
Yeah,
and
that was dope.
that was like a big like kind of reconnection for you and I.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then
Did you knew I was there, right? Because you surprised me.
was that? Well, yeah, I knew you were there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in town. But was that post
That was post Hong Kong. Yeah.
Hong Kong?
That was
Okay,
post
so
Hong Kong.
so that's when I really started. So it was Hong Kong when I was like really starting to pay attention to like what you were doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, that are listening, that are watching, how many years were you in Hong Kong?
I was there for 3 years.
Damn, that's it. I thought it was like 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were in
It was
Hong
a
Kong.
long time, and then there was a lot of shit happened like those couple of years.
Yeah.
So I was like living there through the pandemic and shit too.
Yeah, through pandemic, through like uprising, all that
Yeah.
kind of shit.
Like revolution.
Yeah, you were there for some crazy times, but
Yeah.
you were doing so much crap while you were there. Like you were doing the radio shit. You just told
Yeah.
me. You just told me that you were doing a podcast. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
At
then
oil.
you had like a weekly. Weren't you like DJing weekly on a radio thing?
Yeah. It's called Eaton. It's
Right,
Eaton
Eaton.
Radio.
Eaton.
It was a hotel, but it was kind of like a little bit like an Ace
Like a
hotel.
lot radio.
Yeah. It was like Hong Kong's kind of version of it.
Yeah.
And instead of it being in like the parking lot of a church or whatever the lot is, it's like it was in like a food court of a hotel, but it had these like glass windows, and people would just like walk past and be like, what is this guy doing? And like sometimes I'd be in there like dancing, like vibing out, and like this like old Chinese grandpa would just walk past, just
Yeah.
silently judging.
Silently judging.
But it's okay.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's when I really started paying attention to what you were doing, and then, then 2020 came. You were in Chicago.
We're back to Chicago, yeah.
That was crazy, like what you were doing in Hong Kong. But like, you guys had what was Oxidized? That's when you started Oxidized, right?
Oxidized started in Hong Kong. Yes.
Right. So let's tell the people about Oxidize.
Yeah. So similar to this was before we were recording, but like similar to the podcast where it was just like I saw like a void, like a space in the market for it to exist. Like there was two sides of like Hong Kong like DJ stuff. In my opinion, this is just my experience. I don't want anybody from Hong Kong to like listen to this and be like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. We good?
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, this is my personal experience. Was like there's like two sides to like the Hong Kong like DJ scene, right? There was one side that was like kind of almost like what we described as like the downtown Appleton scene, just like, you know, like the worst, like kind of like EDM remixes of like popular rap music, where it was just like bad kind of like popular EDM stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was like the super heady, super like underground, like techno, like warehousey, like really like Berghain vibes, but like in Hong Kong, you know, just like, well, I guess like what people think of Berghain isn't actually. I think the music of Berghain is actually pretty chill. I think, but I've never been. But like what people think, like super like.
Well, I've been to a German club and
like heavy industrial techno, and
very
like gabber.
heavy. Yes.
You know, so that
Yes.
but there was no like you've heard my sets. Like I'm usually playing like kind of like, you know, fucking Baile Funk remixes of like Lil Baby or something, you know, like
Yep.
like fun, dancey, in the realm of electronic, but neither like main room like EDM stuff or like industrial techno, trance, whatever. Like kind of like in a little like medium, you know, world. Like it's kind of like a happy balance. That's the word I was looking for. Like you know, like pretty dancey, but like still kind of like not like in your face, aggressive in either direction.
Yeah.
And also like relatable to like hip hop music and like kind of like the global sounds like Dembo, like Baile Funk, house music, but like not like annoying house music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There wasn't like a space for that to exist. There also wasn't a lot of hip hop stuff going on. And that was like where like I kind of like got into the scene by doing like hip hop parties.
Mm-hmm.
Because that didn't exist. And so that was like what really, really set it off. But then Oxidize came about because I wanted to do more of my DJ sets. Cause I was like, I love rap music. I'm not really DJing a lot of rap music anymore, unless I'm playing like a fun remix of it or like, you know, kind of blending it in. I'm not doing an entire set of rap music anymore.
Right.
And so, yeah, I was like, wanted to throw a party. And there was this girl who I dated for like 2 months, and then we broke up, but like became like best friends. Like while I was out there. And we were like brainstorming, ideas, and Oxidize just came up. Cause like oxidizing like metals and stuff, like you're adding oxygen to it, like you're adding, and then the play on words with like the aux chord, oxidize, or like adding life and oxygen into like a scene that didn't exist. So, yeah, and it was a pretty big hit, man. Like the first couple, like the first party I threw was like a fucking we
packed it out.
We hit it out of the park, man.
Fucking banger.
It was good, and I DJ'd the entire time, bro. I was like, because I didn't know.
That's fucking lit though.
Yeah, it was like a 7. It was like a 7-hour set, bro. I went to like 5 a.m, and it started at like 10, dude. And like
damn.
Because I didn't know what budget I had. And I didn't want to like book another DJ and like pay out of pocket and stuff, because it was like based on bar sales, and I'm like, if it's a dud, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't book any other DJs, but like I promoted this shit heavy, had a little bit of clout in like the Hong Kong DJ scene or whatever, and like mad people came through, and the thing was they do have like kind of. They're very like the kind of like club owners and like promoters and stuff are very stuck in their ways.
Mm.
So I was doing something a little bit different, and it was hard to sell people on it. So I never found a proper home for it. Like I didn't have a residency, but every time I got it together and like was able to you know get a date at a club or whatever and throw a party. Every single time it was a banger.
Yeah.
And
It looked like it.
yeah, no, it was super fun, bro. It was that's why I keep doing the party, is because it meant a lot to me at the time, and it was fun and successful most of the time. I mean, obviously we've been through some ups and downs, like in Chicago, New York and stuff, but like in Hong Kong, the shit was like heavy. Like it was like it was a thing. People knew about it. People came out for it. Yeah.
Big fish, little pond too. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean like Hong Kong is like a big city, but they just don't have something. They didn't have anything like that
Right.
at all.
Right.
And I remember like the last oxidize I threw before I moved back to Chicago was a day party at a beach, and
That's fire.
It was in between COVID variants. So it was like people hadn't been able to go out for like 2-3 months, whatever. And then they like lifted the restrictions. And I was like, bet, we're throwing a party. But the thing was, it wasn't like a cool beach. Like it wasn't like the beach people go to for like a beach party. It was like way out in the middle of nowhere. It was like from the city, you'd have to take like an hour-long ferry ride or something. Like it was like a destination.
What? Where the fuck was this?
Moi Wo. That was the name of the island.
Oh, this is
in Hong Kong.
Sorry, I thought you said you
No,
said
this is
before you came
before
back
I moved
to
back
Chicago.
to Chicago.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
before I moved back to Chicago. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm like,
yeah.
where is it? It's called Moi Wo. Like, does that mean anything to you?
Yeah. Okay. So it's like an hour-long
ferry
to get there
from the city. Yeah. And another time where I'm just like, I don't know what to expect, dude. We shut the beach down. I'm not saying that like I mean like I'm not saying that figuratively. I mean like literally. Like the cops came like 4 times, and the guy who like ran the beach bar was like, dude, I can't keep like fending the cops off. Like we just have to shut the party down. I'm sorry. But it was so lit, dude. Like seriously, and I'm like this is not a destination beach that people. This is not like a beach that people like go to. Like all like fucking all the hundreds of people that were there were like there for Oxidize, and it was like crazy, bro.
Did you learn any
Cantonese
while you were there?
Yeah, a little bit. Like not like. I mean, I could like
flirt.
Like, I could flirt with the little aunties. Yeah, I mean, I can make jokes and shit. Yeah,
Okay.
but not like I can't actually communicate.
Yeah.
But I knew some expressions.
Cool. That's sick. So you got a weekly right now at Rebecca's still, right?
Monthly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Monthly.
I'm cool with that. Like I don't want a weekly.
Yeah, no. Don't do a weekly.
Unless I didn't have to promote it. And I would just like show up and plug in. That'd be a sick weekly.
Yeah.
But if I'm like throwing a party, like it's only gonna be monthly. I don't have the capacity for more than that.
100%, dude. Yeah, don't do that.
For sure.
Have you been busy recently?
Yeah. So now I got 3 residencies.
Oh,
so
shit.
It's Rebecca's. This place in Ridgewood called Aftermath. It's like a house night I'm doing there, which is super fun. I love house music.
Yeah.
And then another one at McCarran Park. They have a bar inside the park. I don't know if you've been there. It's called Park House. And that one's been pretty chill like lately. But I think during the summer I'm gonna do like day parties there. I think
that's a great spot for you. That's gonna be fucking lit.
Yeah.
I'll definitely come to one of those.
I think we're gonna
sure.
do. I think we're gonna start the day parties actually next month. So, because it's springtime.
I know.
Like the year's going by quick already. But and then one of the times, I'm gonna do like a skate jam actually. Day party skate jam. We're gonna set up maybe one ramp and one rail out in front, and then DJ have a little like skate day party.
That's fire.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool.
I would love to come to that too.
Hell yeah.
That would be really dope. Are you getting into any producing? Like, are you producing anything?
Yeah. I've produced some original tracks. Actually, during.
That's what I'm curious about, like original tracks, because I know that you do your own remixes and all that kind of shit. But you can continue. You're gonna say during what?
During COVID. So as I just described, like things were pretty sick in Hong Kong actually. Until I had to move. I didn't have to move, but I decided to move back because It was like a year of like political unrest in Hong Kong, and then after that, well, I went to jail. We could talk about that too.
God, I forgot about
I went
that,
to jail.
bro.
I went to jail in China.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then the pandemic happened. So, okay, and then where was I? You went to jail. No. I moved back. Okay, so I moved back to Chicago, and it was kind of under maybe not the best circumstances. Like I didn't really like want to go. It was just like as I described, it was like, you know, a whole like year and a half of like bad vibes, like political unrest, jail, and then pandemic. So, and then I moved back to Chicago, and I was there in Hong Kong for 3 years. Like things in Chicago had kind of changed. I'm not from there. It's different than moving back to Appleton or whatever. I don't have family there. And I was in a spot where I was kind of lonely. Like I was actually in a pretty bad place because I felt like things in Hong Kong were going really well. And then moving back, it just kind of felt sad. Like I felt like I was like moving. I felt like I was going backward in time. And
Yeah, that sucks.
I put together a whole like album, which listening back, listening back to it, like I kind of hate it, but I mean it was it's like a timestamp, like a time capsule of what I was going through, and like I used a bunch of like it's all like original production, but I did use like some like vocal samples and stuff about like kind of like not like sad shit, but like shit that like quotes from people that I was like, I don't know. It's a little bit. It's like a instrumental production album, but then I tried to like explain what I was going through via like vocal samples and shit.
Yeah.
But like just chopping it up and not like there's not like any like super recognizable things. There's like on the intro, there's like two news clips that I sample, and one is about the protests in Hong Kong, and the other, and I'd have to listen back, but I think it was in Cantonese, and it's like a news report about the protests in Hong Kong, and then there's another one about like another like news clip about the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So try to tell a story without actually like using words, you know.
Yeah, weird times.
Yeah, and there's another one on there. You'll get a kick out of this because you know who this guy is. There's another one on there where I used a cello sample. So I used to play cello. I don't know if you know that. I grew up playing cello.
Yeah,
and
I think I remember you telling me that before.
I used a cello sample on this track, and I called it Hombre de Lobo, which is like, in Spanish, it's like wolf man. He was the orchestra teacher at He was an orchestra teacher at West and North, Mr. Wolfman.
Ooh, I recommend. I remember his name. I don't have a visual of him though.
Well, that's the reference. So I did a little shout out to my orchestra teacher via like the cello, and then like I called it like Wolfman, but in Spanish, because, well, I mean I think it's the same in Spanish and Portuguese, but like also like the production is like kind of like baile funk influence, so it's like it's like a Portuguese reference. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wolfman.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that lockup.
Yeah.
In
Locked Up Abroad.
In Hong Kong. Yeah, for real. For real though.
Nah, for real. Yeah, it's that was a crazy time. That gets brought up on a lot of dates too. Cause I mean, like, dude, sometimes it comes up, but like also.
You want to know something crazy? Shit, I was locked up in Hong Kong.
I was locked up in China. So.
Oh, in China.
Yeah, China, mainland China. Yeah, it's Shenzhen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's why it was scary.
Oh.
That's why it was. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I thought it was in Hong Kong.
No. It was in Shenzhen, China. I was out there for a DJ gig. And okay, so the last time I played in that city, I met a girl who was cute, whatever. This is important because I realized why I got arrested that day, and it has to do with this chick. But I met a girl, and she was like, she was cute, whatever. And so I got her number, and I was like, yeah, like I'm coming out to Shenzhen again to like play a set. Like, you should come by. And she was like, yeah, I'd love to. So, I get to Shenzhen, and I check into my hotel.
Yeah.
Go to,
And then you got arrested.
basically,
I checked
bro.
into my hotel and then I got arrested.
I mean, there was a few more steps in between, but like
Set your ass
basically,
up.
bro. Like I went to do sound check at the club,
Yeah.
and then I went to dinner with Shorty,
Mm-hmm.
and it was nice. And then it was like getting close to like 10 p.m. by then.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. I gotta go DJ soon. So we're walking back. We went out to dinner like near the club,
Mm-hmm.
and we're walking back, and out of nowhere, like these dudes like kind of like jump out of the bushes and shit. There's like 10 of them. We get separated. So I was like with this girl, and then next thing I know, I'm like surrounded by 10 dudes. They're like barking orders at me in Chinese. I don't know what the fuck's going on. We both get thrown in the yeah, dude.
Like, bro, you think I understand you right now?
It gets crazy. It gets crazy. I get thrown in the back of a fucking unmarked van. Yeah, dude. I was like, this is it. Like, they're gonna sell my fucking organs on the black market, dude. I'm done. This is over. I was like high key freaking out. Like, could you imagine? I'm getting abducted by 10 strange men in a country where I don't speak the language. I don't live there. I live in Hong Kong, but like I am still like Hong Kong. Everyone there speaks English. It's very accessible to Westerners. Mainland China is completely different, bro. Like,
yes.
like everything. They don't even have Google there, bro. Like, everything's different. And so I'm in like a very foreign country, even though I live across the border at the time. I'm in like an extremely foreign country. I don't speak the language. And I'm in the back of a van. So I get out of the van. We're at the police station. So I'm like, okay, these aren't just like strange men who abducted me. They are, but they're police.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll be okay. I get sent to like a holding cell for a few hours. I have to take a drug test.
Okay.
I didn't smoke any weed while I was in China. I didn't touch it. I didn't bring any with me, but there's weed in my system from prior, right?
Oh, God.
So I test positive for weed. And in China, it does not matter where you break the law. It just matters that you broke the law. So I'm trying to tell them, I'm like, yo, like, look at me. I'm fucking American. It's legal where I'm from. They're like, it doesn't matter. Like, you aren't allowed to take drugs. And I'm like, all right.
Wow.
So they kept me in the holding cell for an entire 24 hours, which I found out later is like the legal limit. Like, I found out like literally everything they did to me in this situation was like mental torture. Because in the holding cell, they don't have to do, like, I was there for 24 hours. I didn't have a pillow. I was on a concrete floor, sitting on my ass
Yeah.
for 24 hours.
Sheesh.
And then after that, they put me in a bunch of different handcuffs, like wrist, feet, everything. They sat me in this chair that looked like a medieval torture device. I'm not even kidding. It was like the craziest looking. It was like a metal chair where they handcuffed my arms to it and stuff. And they're like, who'd you buy weed from? And I'm like, I don't, like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even live here, bro. Like, I bought weed from Jake. You guys don't know Jake? Like, like he lives in Chicago, bro. Like, it was so absurd to me. They're like, where'd you get the drugs? And I'm like, dude, like he goes to another school, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say right now because I don't even live here. And like, so they interviewed me about this shit. They tried to get me to like rat on people, and I'm like, I don't fucking like. I know 2 people in Shenzhen, the promoter and the girl I met up with. So yeah, they tried to get me to like.
That's crazy. They
yeah.
thought you were some drug dealer or some shit coming to town. They probably saw you and somebody called the cops on you, or a cop saw you or some shit.
There's a story. That's what I was saying. That girl is important.
Oh God.
So.
Okay.
So I went to jail for like 2 weeks. Well, it was 3 weeks in total because
what?
Yeah, like at the end of 2 weeks, they came into my cell and they said, this was the most soul crushing part, bro. Actually, like it was my birthday too. It was like literally my birthday, and they're like, you're not getting out today. We can't tell you why, and we can't tell you when you're gonna get out, but you're not leaving today. Sheesh. Which was so soul crushing, bro, because I'm sitting here, I'm like counting down the days, and I'm like, yeah, today, this is it, bro. I'm gonna go. They come in, they say Megwo, which means like American. That's what they referred to me as. And they explained, they just, again, just barked orders at me in Chinese. And then I had somebody, like one of the people in my cell, translate it for me. And they were like, yeah, he just said you're not leaving today. I asked him why. He didn't say, he said he couldn't say why. And then I asked when you were leaving, and he said he didn't know. So then I'm like, I went from like being like, yes, it's my birthday, I'm going to go home, to being like, I'm stuck here indefinitely. That was like the worst part. But I found out months later that that girl, so somebody else got arrested for weed in Shenzhen at some point, and they did the same thing. Like when they interviewed me, like, well, where'd you buy it? Who'd you get it from? Whatever, da da da. And this chick, not the one I met up to go to dinner with, her friend, like somebody she knew, got arrested for weed, and in order to get a lighter sentence, she gave a bunch of names of people who she knew had smoked weed, and the girl I went to dinner with was on that list. So she was the target, and I was collateral damage.
Oh my!
And I just happened to test positive for weed too, because whatever, I smoked weed, kill me. But like, yeah. So I found that out like months later. Okay. But like the whole time I'm like, bro, I'm literally walking down the street and they just arrest me out of nowhere. This is so fucked. And I'm like telling people like, yo, I like went to jail in China. And they're like, well, what'd you do? And I'm like, literally nothing. And they're like, bullshit, you had to have done something. And I'm like, no, I was literally walking down the street and I got arrested. And I found out later is because that chick that I went to dinner with got ratted out by one of her friends.
Did you get to talk to your employer at the time? Because I know you were there for work, like doing your daily shit. Like, what happened with that? They're like, well, Josh isn't here.
Disappear for 3 weeks.
A week later, Josh still isn't here. Nobody knows where he is.
Do you have a friend who you can count on? Not like.
Yes, I do have a friend I can count on. Yes.
Okay, I mean that not in like a deeper sense. I mean, like, do you have a friend that you're like, if I need something, like I need to ask him, I need to ask them, Anyway, one of my coworkers is a very, very dependable guy. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to call him because he'll know what to do. Right. So I got one phone call. Well, actually, I ended up getting 2. I was like, dude, I need 2. I'm sorry. I need to call 2 people.
Begging for a second phone call.
Bro, it was important. And then
okay, so you call him?
I call my colleague, and I said, listen, bro, I got arrested in China. I'm gonna be out of work for a few weeks. Just like tell HR, if you can get a hold of my parents, like tell them too. And then the second person I called, which also turned out to be like a genius move on my part, because had I not spoken to somebody about this, I would have been super fucked. But I called the promoter that booked me for that gig, right? Yeah. And I said, can you please pick up my stuff from the hotel and hold on to it until I'm out? What I was saying is that like why that was so important was actually because I got deported. I got deported from China. I'm banned from China, actually. Yeah. yeah. Yeah, I got so that was why I ended up having to stay an extra week, because they were doing the paperwork to deport me.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So I got deported. And why it was so important. Yeah.
What?
And why it was so important that I called the promoter is because had I not gotten my passport back, I would have been detained until the U.S. embassy could have gotten to me.
Holy fuck.
So it was super important that and then, homie came through. Because they took me to the airport because I needed, like, the police took me to the airport because I, like, needed to leave the country when I got out of jail. And like when remember I said earlier, I was like, like literally everything they did was this kind of like mental torture. They like paraded me around this like huge mall, like in handcuffs, like look, we got this white guy. But that was where the promoter met up with me to give me my backpack, and I had my passport in it. But it was crazy because they were just like walking me around like 4 cops, and I was like in handcuffs and shit. And everybody was staring at me. I'm like, dude, I'm like an international criminal because I smoked some fucking pot, dude. Not even there. I smoked pot somewhere where it was legal. But yeah.
That's going to be the name of this podcast. I'm an international criminal because I smoked some weed.
Hell yeah.
International criminal because I smoked weed. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
You never told me that whole story.
No, I mean, not a lot of people get the full story. A lot of people know about what happened, but there's a lot more too. We started a fucking rap group in there. Shit was sick, dude.
What?
Yeah, I started a rap group in jail. It was sick. It was so sick, actually. We would like perform every night, and then like after like 3 or 4 nights, we had like some hit singles that everybody would like sing along to and shit. And then,
oh my god!
And honestly, it's obviously it fucking sucked. It was terrible, but like there were moments where it kind of felt like summer camp, dude. Like they were like lights out, time to be quiet. We're all like laughing. Someone rips ass and shit. Like, dude, it was actually so funny, bro. I mean, like I said, it sucked, but there were moments. I mean, you got to make the most of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
somebody ripped ass. Oh, dude, that was fucking Jason, dude, psst, psst, yo,
dude,
yo, Josh,
yo, you asleep yet? No, what's up? Me neither.
Yo, dude,
yeah,
fucking concrete floor is killing me, bro.
No, seriously, we just slept on these wooden slabs. Like, we didn't have beds, bro. And they never turned off the lights. They never turned off the lights. And there were, like, this disgusting, like, LED light, dude.
Oh, God.
And they also did this thing. Like, I'm not kidding when I say everything they did was to, like, break you down mentally there.
Yeah.
They did this thing where if you got too comfortable, they'd get over the loudspeaker and they'd wake you up. Their justification was that they didn't want anybody to strangle themselves in their sleep or something. So like if you're like getting comfortable and shit, somebody had to watch over every hour of the night. So if you're the first one, it's nice. You just get to go to bed at 11 instead of 10 or whatever. But if you're like later, you got to wake up at like 4 in the morning and stand guard from 4 to 5. That fucking sucks. But yeah, they'd get on the loudspeaker and they'd say, hey, like, person who's on guard, wake that person up. Because they're too comfortable.
Yeah. Keep talking, yeah.
No, that's what they would do. They would just, they would like tell the person on guard to wake the other person up, which is like insane to me. So like I never really got a full night of sleep because the fucking LED lights were on constantly. Anytime I like actually was like sleeping good, I get like kicked by the fucking guard. And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And then
this is the most Chinese shit thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. And then I mean, some other highlights were, we didn't
Some of the highlights, yeah. Let's get into those.
we didn't have an actual bathroom. So like, we didn't have like individual cells. It was like 30 dudes in like a big room. And we didn't have a bathroom. There was just a hole in the corner. It flushed.
Right.
But it was just a hole in the corner. No doors, no nothing.
Right.
And above that hole was a shower. So we had to shit and shower in front of 30 other dudes every day, which was fucking humiliating, bro. That one sucked really bad too.
God damn.
Another funny moment was like I did 1,000 push-ups one day just out of boredom.
What?
Yeah.
1,000?
Yeah, I did like I did 10 sets of 100 because I was just like bored as hell.
God damn.
Dude, it was all I had. Like, we didn't get like time in the yard or anything like that. Like, it was literally just like I was in like the same like 100 square foot room for like
Holy
3 weeks.
fuck. You were in like solitary type shit.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Jesus Christ.
But
How big was it? Was like 30 people in that one room?
30 people. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was like a
Like how big was it comparatively to this like whole
let's get
living
one,
room
let's
situation?
get one for people listening because they don't see the whole living room. But I would say like a half a tennis court.
It's not big for 30 people.
For 30 people.
That's not big for
And
30 people.
A corner.
Jesus Christ.
A corner toilet and shower. Toilet shower combo.
And
they do the
got
craziest
diarrhea shitting themselves.
Oh yeah, that was like another summer camp moment. Because like whenever somebody would like take a big shit, everyone would start like being like, flush it.
Were there Americans in there? Like,
nah, there was one other American. So I was in like the internet.
Like how the fuck were all these people speaking English?
So I was in the foreigner cell.
Okay. Gotcha.
Most of them were South Asian, like Indian or Pakistani. There because of visa stuff. Yeah, working illegally. And then there was a couple of African dudes. 2 of them were like East African. A couple of them were like Nigeria, Ghana, West Africa. But yeah, the 2 East African dudes, Joe was Kenyan and Patrick was Ugandan. They were all there because they were teaching English as fake Americans.
Oh my god.
And they didn't have a visa, so they were working illegally in China. And so the only 2 people that were there on weed charges were me and the other American.
God knows if those motherfuckers have gotten out of there. My
Yeah,
God.
he has. Patrick has texted me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
On
shit.
some scammer shit though. He was like, "Bro, I need money," and I'm like, "Come on, man." That was the homie though. That was the homie. We got along really well in there. Unless we were playing cards, because I was about to slap the shit out of that motherfucker. He cheated in cards, and we had to be like separated a few times, like because it got heated. But he was in the rap group. He was in the rap group. Yeah. So was the other American, and a Russian dude was in the rap. There was one other Russian guy, and he was also teaching English, but he could barely speak English, which is so funny. They just saw a white guy and they just wanted to hire him. Like in China, no, that's how it is. Like they can just fake it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the rap group was super funny. And then, so one of the guy who translated everything for us was a guy who was born in China, moved to the UK, and denounced his Chinese citizenship. Was a British citizen, and denounced his like Chinese citizen.
Yep,
Like he just
yep.
no longer, and then moved back to China. So they
Oh.
got him on visa charges too, because he was
Why the fuck would he move back to China, bro?
dude. I don't know.
You know you're gonna get locked up immediately. They track that shit.
Yeah. So he was there illegally because he didn't have a visa, but he was like the one Chinese dude in our cell that was, because it was like the foreigner cell, but he was technically British, but he was Chinese. So he was the one who was like doing the translating for us. So he like when I found out I wasn't going home the day I was supposed to go home, he was the one that told me.
Yeah.
He was also during our first performance as the rap group, Patrick, the Ugandan guy who cheated in cards, he forgot his lines. He forgot his lines in the song. And Andrew was the British dude. And he was like the only guy paying attention while we were performing our new hit single. And when Patrick forgot his lines, Andrew starts going, boo. And then he goes, like, I want a refund for my ticket. And he starts going, refund. And my ass, dude, I was like, all right, thanks for coming to the concert. We're refund. Because he was chanting refund. So I was like, yeah, all right, thanks for coming out. We're refund. Appreciate you. So we called ourselves refund.
We're refund.
Yeah, refund was sick, dude. I mean, if we got in the studio, who knows what would happen? I could be a famous rapper in China right now, dude.
Oh my god, that's hilarious, dude. Okay, so yeah, there's one missing piece to this entire story. What the fuck happened to the girl?
Oh, she went to jail too. I got in touch with her like months later. And that's when I found out her friend had like ratted on her, and I got arrested because I was with her. And then, yeah.
So did you hear anything about her, like how long she was there, what happened when she was in there, and what were the results? Like, did she get out?
I think her situation was a little bit different because she's a Chinese resident,
right?
Chinese citizen. So obviously she didn't get deported. So she might have gotten out a few days earlier than me, but I'm not exactly sure what her situation was. And then the thing is, a lot of people talk about this like Black Mirror episode with like the social credit score and shit. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
I don't know. A lot of people talk about it, but like it's kind of real in China. Like I guess it's real anywhere. Like if you have like a bad record, you're not gonna be able to like, get jobs and stuff. But it's like a little bit more serious in China. And she was saying she's like this, that, like.
But it's actually like a social credit score that they.
Yeah, I mean, basically, she was like, "This changed my like. I had to get my life together after this," which is so crazy because like to us, it's just
Jesus
like
Christ, that scared me.
Sorry, yo, the homie. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yo, scared the shit out of me, bro. It's like,
yeah.
I got the headphones on. I'm like, God, it's the Chinese government trying to come and get you right now. Trying to get you. No, yeah, I'm involved now. I'm involved now.
Yeah, it's like it's actually like an A&R from China. It's like, hey, is a refund in here?
It's an A&R. Yo, where's refund at? We heard you guys were getting back together.
We're getting Patrick. We're getting Justin. And what was the other? I forgot. Oh, damn, what was the Russian guy's name? Oh, Daniel. Yeah, getting Justin, Daniel, Patrick. We're getting all the guys back together. We're starting refund. We're going on tour. No, that shit was like actually mad funny. And there's a song they play every day in jail that it rocks, dude. Like I love that song actually still. It's like this Hong Kong rock band called Beyond. They're so sick. And like I don't know a single word to that song. I guess they're like a super famous band in Hong Kong, but the lead singer died trying to like crowd surf or something. It was like super tragic. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, no, the song rocked, and I'll still play every once in a while. I'll play it, but they played it every day in jail. And then also, the other funny thing was that like they would play like a movie every night, but it was just straight up propaganda. Like straight up propaganda, like Chinese propaganda.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were saying in it, so I just like tuned out. But you could tell, like it would be like these soldiers that are like taking over, like this like whatever, like yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy out there, bro. My mom and dad had a couple of Chinese international students. One of them actually lives here now, and kind of like the British guy or whatever, like he doesn't want to go back there, man. He does not want to go back there, and he's scared because like I think his mom has been taken before. Like they'll fucking take you, dude. They'll take anybody they want, and like you'll disappear.
Yeah, that's real. And like yeah, dude, like. And like I can crack jokes about it. Like the Like, dude, the rap group shit is so funny to me, dude. And like, but like, my parents do not think that shit was funny at all. Like, they don't like.
I'm sure they were scared for their lives.
They were more traumatized than me. I'm like, dude, I got to shit in a hole and like hang out with these weirdo dudes that I don't know for like 3 weeks. It sucks.
It was the best vacation ever. I didn't even have to pay for that.
Dude, I literally missed vacation because I told you I was on my birthday, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I had a trip planned. I missed it.
Where was your trip?
It's called El Nido. It's an island in the Philippines.
Oh shit. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Damn.
Yeah, it was a bummer. It's a really beautiful place too. And then the next year, I planned a big trip to an island in Mexico to kind of make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted a picture on my birthday. And then literally today, some fucking YouTuber reposted that picture in their fashion YouTube vlog and about how to dress. Yeah, that's like a random series of. Yes.
How the fuck do you see it?
Somebody sent it to me. Yeah, 'cause I don't even know who this guy is. He has 1.4 million subscribers, and he made a fashion video about how to dress for summer, and that in it there's a picture of me on vacation in Mexico.
Copyright, sue his ass.
Yeah.
Small claims court. How much money did you make off this video?
Dude, how the fuck did he find that shit though? I have no idea who this guy is. And he's like famous YouTuber. But yeah, that was from my makeup. That was from my makeup trip after when I couldn't go on my vacation because I was in jail. So that was another like funny moment.
Wow,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Damn,
So,
man.
Yeah, then so after I got out of jail, COVID happened, and then that was when I was like, dude, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
Because there was like a year of like civil unrest with the protests and shit.
Yeah.
Go to jail, get out, and then immediately like a month later, lockdown.
Yeah.
So I moved back to Chicago. Then I was depressed and I made an album. Circling back to that.
I get you know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, what's it been like for you living and DJing here in New York comparatively to like Chicago and Hong Kong? Like, from a DJ perspective, like, what's that experience been like for you?
Yeah, Hong Kong was cool because it was like totally different, and I was kind of like I had this experience in the U.S. where like the music is like way different than in Asia, and I kind of like was bringing that experience along with me, and that was really fun. And I did have kind of a leg up on other people because it was like, no, I'm bringing a certain vibe. Like I used to DJ in Chicago, whatever, and that was like super cool. And I was pretty successful. I DJ'd like some really big music festivals. I traveled around Asia DJing and stuff. And then moving back to Chicago again, like I said, I was kind of depressed. Chicago wasn't it for me then.
Yeah.
Like the second time around, it just wasn't. It didn't hit the same. It was kind of sad for a little bit, and then I think I was in a pretty bad headspace. Outlining the kind of like year and a half I just went through jail. I joke about it, but it was a pretty traumatizing experience. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then I got back to Chicago, and life was just kind of weird, and it just never recovered in Chicago. So like the second time around wasn't great for me. I also got into this like really terrible relationship, which we've talked about before. I think in another not on a podcast.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, no, I was in this like pretty tough relationship that kind of like broke my soul too. And kind of and then like moving to Hong Kong was like a really big production. Like it was a big undertaking, and I don't think I wanted to do something like that again. Like I didn't want to move abroad again. But New York is such an amazing city that has so much going on. I felt like I was like challenged by it in a similar way I would have been if I had moved abroad or like stayed abroad. So this was, I wouldn't even say it was like a compromise because like New York in and of itself is like so dope. So like it kind of worked out for me where it's like I'm not gonna move back to Hong Kong, but I need a pretty fast paced city that like has a lot going on that'll like keep my like hyperactive ass like
interested.
Like, like stimulated. Yeah. So it really worked out. I got out. I like that relationship ended. And there was like kind of like a moment in time where it was like, it's either right now or I don't do it. So I moved here. Yeah. And it worked.
Do you think that those kind of experiences, like, and I'm talking from like musically and like from the, you know, a business side of like DJing, like has prepared you to DJ here? Like, do you think that you needed to do those things to be able to like come here and like have that confidence? 'Cause there's so many fucking DJs here, bro.
There's so many DJs
and
here, dude.
good DJs too.
Some amazing DJs,
like ridiculous. Like it's never ending how many good DJs there are here.
It's that part. That's so true because I would go to like parties in Chicago, and I'd be like, "Yo, this DJ sucks," you know.
I still do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is mid.
Yeah, and
it's mostly mid.
There are some shitty DJs in New York too, but I'm also like,
of course there are.
Yeah. I mean, it's a numbers game, dude. There's so many DJs. Obviously, a lot of them are gonna suck, but but there are some really, really, really impressive DJs here. But yeah, no, I definitely I get what you're saying, and especially like coming from the Midwest, which like you probably dealt with this too, like when you first moved out here, where there's like it's like a little brother syndrome, you know? It's like I'm not as cool or like talented or like special as like these fucking cool New York guys because I'm just like, you know, from the Midwest and shit. Like, but I do think like all the experiences I've had kind of did give me that confidence. I think you're right. Like, because I've just like done so much, even though I was moving to New York from Chicago where it kind of had these like, oh, I'm not going to be like as cultured or as cool or as like hip as like, you know, some of these like New York artists and stuff. But and like imposter syndrome is real. I think we all deal with it. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of had that like, I know at this point, I'm like I like can like DJ for real. Like that was another thing where I just like I put in the work. Like when I moved to Hong Kong, I didn't have any gigs. I moved to the other side of the world. I didn't know anybody, and I was just like in the lab for like 4 months, just like practicing, and then I started like getting gigs and stuff. But like those 4 months, like really like I figured it out.
Yeah, for sure.
And at that point, I really like knew I was like I had confidence, and just kind of being like, I've lived on the other side of the world, and I was throwing like crazy parties there. So like New York is just another place, even though I'm still like intimidated a little bit, you know, by like the scene out here and shit. But everyone's actually really cool. They talk about, you know, they talk about like New Yorkers like they're like these like hardened assholes and stuff, but everyone's been super nice to me, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, I think it's like I don't know what it is, but I mean you also probably like get the energy you give out, and like I mean, I don't know, I guess I talk shit sometimes, but I feel like I'm usually pretty like friendly and stuff, and I haven't had any experiences here where I was like, oh, what, like these East Coast fucking assholes.
Yeah, I don't know why people say that shit either. I think it's just because a lot of the people that live here, you know, like we got shit to do, bro. Like we don't, you know what it really is. I think it's all that like small town small talk bullshit. Like people like want you to like. It's like, dude, when you are around this many people all the time and you're doing so much shit all the time, you cut out a lot of like fat. And it's also just like extra airspace. It's like we don't need to fill this time by you fucking chatting to me about nothing or about the weather. You know what I mean? Like, but why do we always have to have a conversation about the weather outside today? Like, I see it's fucking nice. I'm in a good mood. Like, do I need to talk to you about it? No. Like,
I mean, that's true, but I've also had like some very like, and maybe it's because I'm in like Queens or like Ridgewood, whatever, but like I like will go to like the coffee shop down the street and people they're not like that necessarily, and a lot of them are like New Yorkers, not even like I think it is partially people who come here and expect that, and that they're the ones that overcompensate. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like I've had small talk conversations. I also have had people kind of be like that, but not in like a mean way, where it's just like, I don't know, just like, yeah, like they have shit going on. You know? Like,
yeah.
Who cares? It's not something you can take personal. If
Facts.
someone's busy, bro.
Facts. But like, okay, so I want to get back to a question that I kind of asked.
Oh, did I not answer it?
You didn't fully answer it,
Oh,
but
my bad.
like,
I got distracted.
No, it's okay. What I was kind of asking you is like, what, like you were saying you're kind of like still intimidated the New York scene, like as a DJ and like whatever, but like, has there been any like stark differences? I guess we can just relate it to Chicago because we know you've talked a lot about Hong Kong and stuff like that, but like, you know, not only culturally but like musically, like what hits and what, like, you know, is there a difference of like, you know, between like Chicago and New York, or like something that you've noticed about like that is what am I trying to say? That works here in New York that is different from like Chicago, like musically and culturally in the music scene as a DJ.
People here, in comparison to Chicago, people here are so much more educated about music.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You can really freak it. In Chicago, there's so many there's obviously places in Chicago that you can get wacky, but most places I've DJed in Chicago, you have to stick to, people are gonna say, "Can you play something we know? Can you play something that has words?" You know, you're gonna get that.
There's so many fucking white girls in fucking Chicago. I can't stand it, bro.
It's the
It's
Midwest,
the goddamn white girls and white boys in Chicago.
Yeah, no, for real, and like, yeah,
they're all from the burbs,
and yeah, like
they just
like,
fill the city.
I mean, yes, and you're like, you know, I think you're kind of joking, but like there is that too, because it's like
there is. I'm not joking. I'm serious.
Like there's so much like
it's fucking terrible.
Like they love, like there's obviously like a Caribbean influence here. There's like African influence here. So it's like you play like an old like dance hall track, like everybody's gonna know the words and stuff, and it's like a classic here because it's like a Caribbean, and like, yeah, I just feel like there's so much more variety here, but at the same time there's still classics, but it's like maybe some shit that like wouldn't really hit in other places.
I think the thing that I notice, especially between Chicago and New York, is that like house music is the standard here,
which is crazy because Chicago's house, you know.
Yeah, but you go to Chicago, it's like hip hop and like mainstream music is like the standard at 90% of like bars and clubs.
Yep.
It's like you come here, unless you're at like some fucking like Motorhead fucking dive bar, like hipster dive bar, it's gonna be like fucking metal music or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you go to like any lounge, any cocktail bar, any like solid, like with like decent taste, like bar or restaurant, like you're getting house music, some form of house music.
And I like that because that means that people are like I can play dance music and people are gonna react to it. Cause like I was saying, I love rap music, but I don't really play like entire rap sets anymore.
Right.
And like I love the fact that and like house music is such a like a wide ranging genre that like they're not gonna say, "Can you play something we know?" because it's just like there's so much house music, and some of it there's like no words, some of it there's just, you know, there's so many like it could mean so many things. So yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot more electronic music in New York in general. And yeah, I think people are just like more cultured, more aware of like different genres. Where in Chicago, you definitely are expected to like, you know, play the bangers, play what people know.
Do you like that? Do you think that like gives you kind of freedom?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to play the same set every night, dude. Are you kidding me? Yeah, nah.
Dude,
like,
play some Chapel Roan, bro.
well, let's not speak ill of Chapel Roan on this podcast. I kind of love Chapel
Okay.
Roan.
But like, play her now.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm gonna request another Chapel Roan song in like 10
because
minutes.
people like that don't use words. They just show their phone.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, like the other week, and I forgot I did this, but somebody had recorded the set. I went.
Oh,
do you know Flex FM? It's a track by Joy Orbison, and it has Flex Up by like Lil Yachty and Future, like the vocals over it. It's like a techno song, but it has like a Future and Yachty vocals over it.
Okay.
And it's not super. It's like 140 BPM, so it's a little bit faster, but it's not like that hard to grasp as like some techno music is not like easily graspable by like the general public, but like this one's pretty basic in terms of techno. And I transitioned into Hot to Go by Chapel Roan.
Okay.
And it was fire. It was actually
Wait, is that the one that you posted the other day? Oh, yeah. No, that shit was hot. I'm not going to lie. You fucking went off on that. That was crazy.
Thank you, bro.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I messaged you. I was like, that shit was sick.
Yeah, and that was so funny.
That shit went
like,
crazy.
I forgot I did that, and then I heard that back. I was like, yo, that was fire. I'm glad I did that. But yeah, no. So
I remember.
But that's a tasteful, that's like a nice way to play a Chapel Roan song. You know, if you're just playing like
100%
sing-along bangers, smashing them together, like that's gonna get boring or whatever. But like that was kind of like dropped in there a little bit, like, oh shit, damn, like that's the next song. Like it kind of like, you know, went from like a techno banger to like a gay pop sing-along. Like nobody even saw it coming.
Yeah.
So but I mean, I agree for the I was joking. Like I love Chapel Roan, to be honest, but like I know exactly what you're saying about
it's the people. It's not Chapel Roan.
It's
not you, Chapel.
It's I love Chapel
the
Roan.
people that like you.
It's the crowd, man.
It's the general people.
But no, I mean, I think here they're much more open. They're much more open to different music, and I love that. That's preferable for sure. I definitely felt like I was like getting booked for like these gigs in Chicago, and I was expected to just play like Lil Durk, Chief Keef, and like maybe a little bit of footwork, which is fun. I love footwork, but
I'm unfamiliar. What do you mean footwork?
Footwork, like DJ Rashad, like it's Tech Life was like a record label. So there was like house, and then there was like ghetto house, right? Which is all like DJ Dion, and then that turned into, this is all like Chicago genres of music, right? It was like house, then ghetto house, and then footwork came after. Juke, sometimes referred to as juke, and it's like, however you want to look at it, it might be like, you might look at it as like an 80 BPM genre, similar to like jungle or drum and bass, but you could also look at it as like 160 BPM. But yeah, no, it's just like a genre of dance music based out of Chicago. And it's kind of interesting because like I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday actually. You go to places in Chicago, like people say, which, you know, there's truth to this. I'm not just saying people say it, but like Chicago invented house music.
Correct.
But there isn't a lot of people. There's people that like know it, but like you play some house music in Chicago, even like some classic Chicago house music, like crowds now aren't going to respond to it. They do respond to juke and footwork. So
okay, and why?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know why. Yeah, it could be. I think there's a generational thing. There's a generational thing where the kind of like people who were like listening to like, you know, doing the Frankie Knuckles, like classic Chicago house stuff, maybe didn't really pass that on to the next generation for whatever reason. Maybe because it was a lot of queer people. Maybe there was like an AIDS thing. Maybe a lot of them like passed away and weren't able to like pass that down to like the next generation. And I think footwork came a little bit later. So instead of it being their like parents or aunts and uncles that were like, oh, but you know, check out the house music, it's classic. It was like their older brothers or like, you know, and like they were like, yo, check out this DJ Rashad. So I think a lot of people got put onto it in a different way. And instead of it being like, oh, that's just like auntie, uncle music, whatever, like they're like, no, this is cool. So I think a lot of people have a different relationship to footwork and juke than they do Chicago house music. And also like sonically, it kind of mixes with rap a lot better. So people who like rap music will like footwork, but that you play house music and they're like, oh, this is that like fucking shit, you know, like this is that white people stuff where they don't even know. Well, I'm sure they do know. I'm not saying that they don't know, but it's like kind of funny because it's like, oh, this EDM stuff is for white people, even though it was like invented by black people. So
interesting. Yeah, I can't really speak on that. I don't really like you're like I get what you're saying, but I don't fully understand it because I don't know the exact genre and the sound that you're like
you should check it out, man.
About right now.
You should check it out. DJ Rashad.
I mean, maybe I do know it and I just don't know. I wouldn't be able to like in my head right now to recall what that sound is.
Yeah, DJ Rashad is one of the main ones. He passed away like 2017 or something. But he was part of a crew called Tech Life with a K, T-E-K Life. Yeah, check it out, dude.
Yeah.
RP Boo, DJ Spin. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Like I said, it's like musically it's like a cousin to like drum and bass or like jungle almost.
Okay.
But it also could be viewed as like really fast techno or like really slow rap music. If it's like halftime.
Okay.
If you cut it in half, it could be really slow. If that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Like instead of counting it as like 1, 2, 3, 4, you'd be like 1, 2, 3. But it's the same speed. It's the same tempo.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got you. Yeah. Cool, bro. Well, this has been crazy fun, man. I've been enjoying it. This is great. I mean, the China story alone was like crazy, but kid, like where can we find you? Tell the people where they can find you and like
I'm DJ Fire Aux, Fire AUX. Post a lot on Instagram. If you want to see my rollerblade clips, you can follow me on TikTok. I post rollerblading on TikTok. That's not a joke. That sounds silly, but it's not a joke. Come out. Do Oxidize. Usually, sometimes it changes, but usually every fourth Saturday at Rebecca's in Bushwick, and I have first Fridays is the house night at Aftermath in Ridgewood, and then day parties this summer. Every third Saturday in McCarran Park.
Sick.
And anywhere else. I got other shit going on, but those are like my consistent ones. So, yeah.
Fucking fire, brother.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Good shit,
Thanks
bro.
for having
you got
me,
anything else that you want to say to the people?
Refund's getting back together.
Check out Refund.
Refund's getting back together.
Refund World Tour. We're actually going to be opening for Wu-Tang on their world tour.
No China stops. We're not allowed there.
No China stops.
No China stops in the world tour.
Cool, bro.
I don't think I have anything. Do you think should I have something else to say?
No.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you've said enough, dude.
Yeah.
This has just been chill, so.
Yeah, thanks for having me, dude.
Cool, dude. Yeah, let's keep going, bro. Let's keep going. Glad to freaking do this with you. And
absolutely, bro.
Keep collaborating with you in any way that we can. You know, my dumb ass doing fucking house parties and shit.
Hell
like,
yeah.
you know.
Appletonians, dude. We gotta stick together, man.
Yeah.
Us Appletonians, man.
Yeah.
That's
I'll keep getting you some more jobs whenever I can.
Dude, you came through clutch a few times, man. Seriously.
I'll see if I can keep getting you some jobs randomly.
Yeah, I hope to see you out here more often, bro.
Yeah. I'll be soon getting back out here. So, yeah. All right. Love you, brother.
Love you too, bro.
All right.